Hello there, Johnny Anton here bringing you another training on sourcing capital. This is video 4, and in the last video we talked about how to source, kind of going through the process of credit, investments, cash, discretionary income, friends and family, have them follow up and do goals exercise and due diligence while they source and follow up in 2-3 days or 3 or 4 days, sometimes a week, depending on how excited they are. If they aren't that excited, you want to follow up within a day. Because you don't want to lose them in the process. But in this video, what we're going to talk about is how to source and what tools to use to help them source. And in the following video after that, we'll talk about some of the objections and the things that you could say to keep them going in the process. Okay. Now, once we go through, their credit, investments, cash, discretionary income, friends and family, and you follow up, a lot of times before you send the follow-up, date and time and have them do all this stuff, you kind of talk to them a little bit about credit. All right. Now, in the end of the day, as business owners, we understand the power of leverage, right? And so teaching our clients leverage is something we're going to teach them when we're coaching them no matter what. They're going to leverage time, they're going to leverage money, they're going to leverage other people to do things for them, experts, right? People who have specialized knowledge in something where we can focus on either hiring out or finding somebody or using time and money to free us up so that we can spend our time as entrepreneurs doing what we most want to do, is bringing in income, right? We as entrepreneurs need to be spending time marketing and branding. In my opinion, that's where every entrepreneur needs to be spending their time, is network marketing, building relationships, growing the brand. All the other nuances needs to be outsourced by other people who can make as good of a decision as you, if not better, because they have specialized knowledge. I mean, it goes back to Think and Grow Rich, specialized knowledge chapter. It goes back to E-Myth Revisited, where you're the entrepreneur and you have managers and technicians beneath you working with you to really help you own your own time. And so if we're going to teach our clients the process of leverage, then we need to show them how to leverage credit, right? Because if we could show them how to leverage other people's money, right? If we teach them OPM, right? OPM, where we can have private investors, we can have, kicks like crowdfunding, where, I don't know what happens to private investors. You got your hard money people in real estate and people who have, subprime lending. And then you, of course, have the bank's money, which is credit. And what I like to do is constantly, if people don't understand credit or they never used credit for investing before and they're not an existing business owner, they just pay cash for everything, I pretty much educate them on the investor mindset versus the consumer mindset, okay? And I also talk about good debt versus bad debt. I can also talk about cash-on-cash return being higher using credit, scalability, okay, faster, okay. When you use other people's money, in the end of the day, if you use cash in business, you're going to be cash poor. And when you're cash poor, you can't spend money on things like, operations, like day-to-day and month-to-month expenses, like payroll, and systems. If you don't have cash for systems or payroll, then you can't really grow your business that fast. And so credit really is great as long as you're using it for things that make you money. And so what I will do is I will, teach them the investor mindset. Successful investors, they believe in using leverage. They believe in freeing up their time, energy to grow the business. They focus on marketing and branding. Meanwhile, they leverage money, credit, everything that they can to grow their business as fast as possible. And, the only way you can understand that, Bob, the only way you can understand that, Mary, is if you know the difference between good debt versus bad debt. And that's where you go in to educate them that, good debt is anything that brings you money back, right? You're investing into appreciating assets or systems. You're investing into telephone systems, right? Or you're investing into an asset that's, really gaining value over time, right? It's appreciating, right? So anything that gains value and it's making money and putting money back into your pocket, bringing you that return on investment, then those things are worth going into debt for, because if you go into debt for them, you're not having to pay the debt off right away. You're financing the debt. Just like you buy a house, which, most people think that's an asset, but, in my opinion and many investors' opinions, that's a depreciating asset. That's devaluing over time and isn't providing you with a cash flow. And so if you kind of get your clients to understand this investor mindset, that good debt is something that is going to help you grow your business and it's going to bring you an ROI, then they understand the value of investing into systems or coaching, because if they invest into systems or coaching, then they can truly learn everything they need to grow the business and get the ROI that they want. Okay, now bad debt is anything is what they've been taught through the system, using credit cards for clothes, gas, food, and a lot of them have spending habits and spending issues where it's not necessarily their fault. They're just being marketed to and being pointed in the wrong direction all along, and it's important for you to interrupt their pattern and say, hey, you've been taught this your whole life, but the truth is it's another way to keep you in the system. Going to school, getting a job, working forever, being in a lot of school debt, that's part of the system. We as entrepreneurs, we want to get off the system, and we want to reinvent ourselves and build a business where we're passionate about something. And the only way we can do it is if we think differently, because if we can think like successful investors and then we act like successful investors, then we can truly be able to get the results that those investors get. I mean, you look at McDonald's balance sheet, they have, billions of dollars of debt every year, but they, millions and millions and even up to billions long term, but they still end up with a large retained earnings in the billions. You look at any company, debt optimization, debt to equity utilization is something that is constantly done so that businesses can grow at massive speeds. And so you need to educate your clients and be able to believe in the mindset. I mean, look at Nick, look at anybody out there. A lot of them have that story where they went into a lot of credit card debt, but that's what allowed them to get the growth and the education and the systems in place to truly get the ROI and blow up their business. So just reframing their mindset around good debt versus bad debt, reframing their mindset on you can never grow a business that fast if you put cash into everything, and you're at more risk as well. I mean, if you put all your eggs in one basket, all your cash into one real estate transaction, if that real estate transaction flops, then you're all at ground zero. Whereas if you use other people's money and credit and all kinds of things, there are different ways that you can mitigate your risks along the way, and you can allocate your cash to things that can bring you money faster. So if you're investing into yourself, that's a long-term investment. I mean, if you can go get 0% interest credit cards for the next 15 months and only pay $300 a month or $500 a month for $10,000 coaching, that's something that we want to teach our clients. Okay? And so what I do is I have a couple of tools that you guys can use that are really beneficial. So for me, I give them a spreadsheet right away. So I give them a spreadsheet, and it looks something like this, where they can write all their credit cards and their minimum payments and their balances, etc., and they can figure out where they're at financially. I also give them maybe an asset and liabilities where they can put their their after-tax income, that cash flow, right? Now you know that they have $1,200 a month. You have them put all their assets and you put their liabilities, and you teach them this process of getting clear on their finances, because with or without us, that's anybody would do that in their position. So that's just one tool, is a spreadsheet to help them track credit cards and liabilities and assets. And then you can send it pre-filled. You can help them organize their money, and you can hold them accountable too. And that's what's really cool, is it's a qualification process, and you're making them work for it. They're going to do these tasks because they know you do them with other people, and other successful clients have done them in the past. So they're constantly going to want to be like those successful clients and qualify. Okay, now moving on, I use creditcards.com, I use Credit Karma, and I use Bankrate. And what I do essentially after they do their goals and they go raise their credit cards, they fill out that spreadsheet, I show up to the next call, and I make sure that they know where they're at financially. Hey, do you have your cash flow numbers? Do you have your credit numbers? Did you raise capital? Right? So I get them to see all these things and be very clear on them. And I even direct them to websites like creditcards.com, and I can show them how to get the best offers. I can get the best credit cards with these tools. There's the match offer where you get matched up. They soft pull your credit right here, and you can put in your credit information, and it can tell you what cards you qualify for. This is completely free. It doesn't hurt your credit. And usually I tell them, hey, whether you work with us or not, successful investors, they want access to more capital, right? And they also want access to cheaper capital. So I will influence them to go and get 3 new 0% interest credit cards from creditkarma.com after they check their credit score for free on here. And they can show you 0% offers. They can show you, a lot of different options for credit, and they can show you what you're pre-approved for once you open up a free account. And it all takes 2 or 3 minutes to do this stuff. So it's something that you can follow up with them that very next day and keep them moving in the process. Okay, so hopefully this is really helpful here, and this is starting to get more clear on, the overall interview process and getting them to qualify, getting them to understand that there are opportunities to raise money out there. And usually when clients have a 650 credit score or higher, I usually like to look for 680, 690 and higher. They should be able to get, as long as they have $30,000, $40,000 income and higher, they should be able to get 3 new 0% interest credit cards. And how much they get depends on how much debt utilization they have, how much balances and limits they have, what's their income, any foreclosures. So you want to ask some of those questions, and you want to educate them that, hey, whether you work with us or not, you want to be an investor, you want to be a business owner, correct? And they'll say, yeah, definitely. Okay, fantastic. Do you believe that, more money equals more opportunity in your business? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, great. Did you know that, 0% interest credit cards are probably the best way that some of our most successful clients will go out there and build their business? Did you know that? No, I didn't. Great. Okay, would it be helpful if I would walk you through some websites that would help you access more capital and do it in a way that can get you access to cheaper capital too? Yeah, I'd be excited for that. Okay, great. So here's these websites. So I take them to creditcards.com, I take them to Credit Karma, I get them to go get more credit cards, I get them to fill out the spreadsheets, and then in 2 or 3 days they're working on their goals, and they either do one of 2 things. They either have issues and fall out, or they call you and they have questions, or they follow through and they get their goals back to you, they get the spreadsheets, they're fired up, and now they're really, really invested. If they've done all this work, they really want to know what the next step is. And then the next step is really seeing what they can afford. If you know that they have, $40,000 in available credit lines after they do all these exercises, and their monthly net income or after-tax income minus expenses, their cash flow per month is $1,200 or $500, then you know how much they can really afford per month in their business. So if they have $2,000, they can afford $1,000 for marketing and maybe $1,000 for their credit card minimum payments, and that means they can afford maybe $1,000 for your coaching. Or a subscription product for $200. Let's say they only have $500. Maybe you can put $250 into Facebook marketing per month, and maybe you can put $150 and save $50 to $100, and they can put $150 into your coaching. So now you understand what the power of leverage is. When they go get 0% interest credit cards, they know where their cash is. They can move money around. You can show them how to do that. Then they know that really it's not really costing them $30,000. It's only costing them a monthly minimum payment, right? I mean, when you invest $30,000 in a credit card, do you have to pay that $30,000 at the end of the month? No, right? You can leverage the $30,000, and all you would have to pay, depending on your interest rate and your minimum payment balance, and that's where this tool, when they fill out the spreadsheet, I will type all this stuff in there for them. What their steps are. Everybody's different, but I will take them to this website link. And this is an amazing tool because then I can walk them through how much this business is actually going to cost them, right? If I get 0% interest credit cards and the interest rate is 0%, let's say the minimum balance is 1 plus 2, because usually it's 3 to 4% for the first 12 or 15 months during the promotional period. And I have $60,000 in available credit from all the credit sourcing that I did with them, because they had a 750 credit score and $100,000 income. Then boom, a $30,000 coaching program is only $600 a month. That's amazing. And it even beats out any flex pay programs that you have, because it might cost them $1,000 or $3,000 a month. But if we can show them how to pay for this the right way, and they have credit and they're using credit and they're 0%, the program's only going to cost them $600, and they have $1,000 left over. Oh man, you just open up their world on what they can do. Now they can get your best offer. They can get all the help they need, all the tools, all the training, all the coaching, all the seminar, all the network and community and masterminds. Now they have the best chance to succeed, and guess what? It only costs them $600 a month, right? What if they get an ROI in 6 months, right? What if they get an ROI in 12 months? What if they get an ROI even in 2 years? Right? I've seen people get 0% interest credit cards that have good credit. They'll leverage their credit. If they're not profitable in the first year, they'll go open 3 new cards, or they'll get a personal loan and they'll pay that off, and they'll just keep leveraging credit until they hit the ROI that they want. Okay? And so this is the keys to the kingdom, guys. This is how you get your clients to qualify for your highest level of coaching. And I'll tell you guys, people say they don't have the money all the time. It's not that they don't have the money, it's that they're either not clear on their goals, or they don't believe in themselves, or they're just not looking at their money like successful investors have. I mean, one client I worked with in my past history, they had a 710 credit score, they had a $60,000 income, and they only had $5,000 in savings. And our coaching programs were 25 to 40 grand, and they really wanted to do it, and they just didn't feel like they could. And what I was able to do is they were able to get 4 new 0% interest credit cards. They were able to get $40,000 of credit available. They did the $25,000 program. Their minimum payments were $300 a month. And in 4 months, they found a wholesale deal and they flipped it for $27,000. And and they would have never been able to do that without our coaching. They would have had the confidence and the systems in place. And when I saw that happened, my belief system just completely grew. And I said, you know what? People need my coaching. If I can help people get ROIs, and I've had successful case studies, I just need to find people who are coachable, open-minded, and super, super motivated, and can understand the investor mindset that I'm looking for, can raise the capital, and commit to the program. And then from there, it's just effort, hard work, and determination, and that's what every entrepreneur needs to have and needs to develop over time to succeed. So hopefully I'm opening up your minds. Hopefully I'm blowing your mind with this information, because this is the keys to the kingdom. This is how you get to 8 and 9 figures in your business coaching industry, is teaching people how to source capital, showing them that $30,000 investment on credit cards is really only $600 a month. You can mess around with the interest rates, you can look at the payments, but it becomes a lot cheaper than any flex pay program out there that I've seen with high ticket coaching. $3,000 a month, $2,000 a month. Even with interest rates, as long as you can show people how to lower their interest rates, raise their limits. I mean, I send people if they have current cards, I'll have them call their supervisor on the back of the card, speak to a supervisor, have them lower the interest rates, raise the limits. And then, worst case scenario, if they have a 680 or 700 credit score, they end up with 5-10 more grand than they ever had. And now, as a client, potential client of mine, I can help them a lot more. And even if they don't work with me, I truly left them in a better position than when I found them. And that's what I strive to do with every client. I strive to help them get clear on where they're starting from, where they're looking to go, and show them exactly how they can raise capital for the business so that they can allocate it to marketing, coaching, systems, tools, etc. And whether they work with us or not, if I help them raise money and I gave them this information and I influence them to take action, even if they don't end up working with us, I truly felt as if I put them in the best position possible. And when your sales reps subconsciously believe that so deep down inside them, that they're motivated and they're passionate and they can educate your clients the right way, and they come from a good angle and a good place, your clients will be fired up to work with you because they're like, wow, they think differently. No other company will sit here, take me through my goals, help me raise capital, hold me accountable, give me spreadsheets and tools, and then, and even if I don't end up working with them, they still do all this stuff. And guess what? You're not going to get everybody. Some people are going to drop off. Some people are not going to answer your phone. Some people are going to be uncomfortable. But guess what? If you have a sales team and a sales rep of 5, 10 people doing this, and you're motivating them every week and firing them up in meetings, and you're getting them to see the big picture and the vision and the ability that they can sell a very good product and service to a client base that needs your help, then you can really truly grow a team and really get to the next level. And the more high ticket coaching packages you sell, let's say this year you have 2 sales reps and they sell one a week, and you sell $120,000, $30,000 programs, you sell $120,000 worth every month. You just increase your business 7 figures in 1 month of tracking, right? If you get 4 or 5 people to do this, then you're looking at multiple 7 figures. If you get 10, 15 people, then you're looking at 8 figures, right? As long as your offer is good, as long as your back end is scaling appropriately, as long as your fulfillment end and your employees are scaling and growing, and you're building a good team, and you have a good foundation and good core values, and you're just influencing them the right way, you're going to be able to grow a sales floor of 10, 15 people, and they can be virtual or they can be in an office, and they can produce 7, 8, 9 figures for you over the phone. And that's what I was a part of for the last 5 years, and what I'm passionate about, helping each and every one of you business owners out there. So hopefully you got a lot out of this training. Sorry if it was a little bit long, but I feel like I wrapped a lot of it up. In the next video, I'll talk about some of the objections and things that you could do to really help clients see things differently and really keep them on track. All right, hope you got a lot out of this. Hope you're excited for the next video. Until then, I'll see you. Talk to you soon.